Hello, hello. How's everybody doing tonight? Well, I am excited to get started in this online class with you all. I'm going to try to, I'll probably answer if you have any questions. There's a good chance I'm going to answer it within the class, but feel free to write your question in the comments. And I will get back to you. If I don't answer it within the class, then I'll get back to you and answer it at the end of the class. So I'm just going to get started because I know people will be jumping on, and I know that some people will be watching the replay. So I want to just get started, and I'm going to try my best to keep this as short and as sweet as possible so that you guys can get on with your night after this class. So to begin with, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. My name is Elizabeth Sassoni, and I have been using Young Living for 3.5 years. And when I first, well, let me tell you, way back when, I used to be a massage therapist, and I worked in a day spa salon setting, and we actually used essential oils, but never Young Living. We used all different kinds of brands, and I just kind of thought they were for smelling nice and making the room smell nice, and I never thought that they could do much more than that. That was really my only experience with them, and that was all I thought they could do, was kind of make the room smell good. Then about 4 years ago, my husband and I became foster parents, and we got a little boy placed in our house, and it ended up that he had some pretty severe behaviors just because of his short little life and him being in and out of foster care. And our son has autism. And so the two little boys together had so many behaviors, and their behaviors kind of fed off of each other and caused each of them to kind of do more than they probably would on their own. And this caused my house to become very stressful. And I actually was getting pretty severe anxiety, worrying about what was going to happen throughout the day with the two boys and all the behaviors I was going to have to deal with. And so I wasn't sleeping very good, and I was very anxious. And a couple of my friends had been using these Young Living oils, and they kept kind of saying, "Oh, Liz, you got to try these oils. You got to try these oils." And I kept kind of poo-pooing their whole oil thing because I was like, I've used essential oils, guys. What are they going to do for me? And one day I was over at my friend's house, again, kind of complaining about the situation I was in and all the stress I was under. And she actually sent me home with a bottle of Stress Away and a bottle of Peace and Calming, and told me to keep them and use them for the weekend. And so I was like, all right, I was desperate and I was ready to try something. So I jumped in my car and I started putting on these oils all over, didn't really know what I was doing. And but it was like a 10-minute drive from her house to my house. And by the time I got home, I actually felt way calmer, and my thoughts were slowed down, and I felt like, okay, I can go into the house and handle these boys right now. And so that was my first experience with Young Living, and really feeling like they had a really strong impact on me and helped me in a life situation that I was dealing with. And I'm a researcher by nature. And so I kind of got online and started digging in and wanted to know what it was about these essential oils that were so different than the ones I had used back when I was a massage therapist that didn't really do much. You know, why were these ones so special? And they actually impacted my body and calmed me down and helped my stress level and helped my anxiety level and things like that, when the other ones hadn't in the past. And that led me on this awesome discovery about Young Living and about how they do things special, which I'm going to explain shortly in this class. Since then, there's been so many things in our lives that have been awesome. One of the things is just getting all the toxic chemicals out of our home and switching to more natural stuff, kind of doing a medicine cabinet makeover and getting all the over-the-counter stuff out and using more natural remedies, using the oils. My son, actually, with his autism, never slept through the night until he was 5.5 years old. And so I always laugh when I have friends who have, 1-year-olds and they're like kind of complaining that their kids aren't sleeping through the night. And I'm always like, oh my goodness, my son was 5.5. Imagine going that long without, really sleeping a good night. And it was actually putting a diffuser in the room with some lavender and cedar wood that really calmed him enough that he's slept through the night since then, and now he's 9. So that was like a life-changing, awesome amazingness in our life that was due to oils. And so that is part of why I love sharing now with other people, and I love helping other people. And since I have been doing this for a while, I've gotten to hear so many cool stories of people and families and the impact that these oils and products have had on people's lives. And it's been super, super cool. So that is just a little bit of my story. And now I'm going to kind of get into the heart of the class. And the first thing I'm just going to talk about is what essential oils are. A lot of times people, are starting right at the basics and they want to know what they are. Essential oils are basically the most powerful part of the plant. They're called essential oils because they are the essence of the plant. And so a lot of times people like herbs or will use tinctures or supplements and things like that. And what it is that's inside the plant that actually does anything is the essential oil. The essential oil is like a plant's immune system, or like the plant's sometimes we say it's similar to our circulatory system, where our blood flow will go to an area if our body needs healing. The essential oil is kind of what does that for a plant. So it helps the plant with the plant's vitality and helps the plant to fight things off in its natural environment and to heal and things like that. They can be distilled from shrubs, flowers, trees, roots, bushes, fruits, rinds, resin, and herbs. So all different parts of the plants and the roots, and different oils come from different parts. So that's kind of cool. Oils consist of, if they're distilled properly, they can consist of hundreds of natural different organic compounds. And that's the stuff within the oil that helps our body and does really cool things. In humans, essential oils can provide support for every system in the body. So we're talking your skeletal system, your muscular system, hormone system, endocrine system, your respiratory system, your immune system. They can help support brain health, healthy weight. They are used extensively for emotional support. You can use them for spiritual support in your prayer life. An oil in a diffuser can really help soothe a child's tough day after school or your tough day after work. And they can be used as an alternative to toxic cleaning chemicals in your home. There's so many amazing uses for oils. You can actually start swapping out every single chemical cleaning product in your home and start living a purer lifestyle, which is going to help you and your family to feel better. And you can do that without breaking the bank, which is really awesome. So there are actually about 300 oils on the earth. And if you ever get the chance to look through a Young Living catalog, there are just pages and pages of oils. It's so cool to see, and it can feel kind of overwhelming, but it's good to know that you really only need about 10 to 20 of them to build like a good kit, we call it, or like a wellness arsenal. You don't need all 300. You only need about 10 to 20, and they're so versatile that it's really cool. One oil can be used for many different things, which you're going to see at the end when I go through a few oils. You don't need to be an aromatherapist to use them, which is really awesome. There is 4 ways that people use oils. The first one is aromatically. And this is the way that the Germans kind of use them mostly. You would diffuse them. I have a cool mist diffuser going back here. You add water in there and a couple drops of oil, and it actually breaks up and ionizes the oil into little tiny pieces, and they get up into the air, and you can breathe them in and get the therapeutic value that way. You can put a drop of oil in your hand and just cup it over your nose and take a couple deep breaths that way. And our sense of smell is super cool. It's our only scent that actually goes to a certain special spot in our brain where our emotions and our memories are stored. All of our other senses have to go through a different part of our brain. So our sense of smell is really amazing. And using them aromatically or breathing them in is one way that's really great, especially for emotional support. Or respiratory support or things like that. Another way that you can use them is to put them on topically. That's the way that the English use them mostly. That just means that you're taking a drop and you're putting it right on your skin. You can either do that neat, just a straight drop out of the bottle, and some of them are very safe and you can do that. Or you can dilute them with a carrier oil, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit, so we'll get into that more. And then the third way that you can use them is that you can use them internally or as a supplement. There's certain oils that are completely safe to be taken internally. I only recommend Young Living for this, and I will explain why in a little bit. But certain plants like peppermint, you can take a peppermint leaf and you can eat it. And certain oils are really great to be taken internally. Say if you're dealing with digestive support and you need to take it internally. That's a great way to do it. You can also cook with them and season with them, which is really fun and cool. And the French have been using oils internally for a really long time. So that's one of the main ways that people in France use them. And then another way that you can use them is cleaning. And I'm going to share a little bit about the Thieves cleaner in a little bit, but you can use lots of oils for cleaning, and they are a great way to get toxic chemicals out of your home and use something natural that will work really effectively and smell amazing as well. So the 4 ways that you can use them: aromatically, topically, internally, and for cleaning. People a lot of times want to ask, so okay, how do they enter you, and how long do they last? Tests have shown that oils reach the heart, liver, and thyroid in 3 seconds when inhaled, and they're found in the bloodstream within 26 seconds when they're applied topically. Now, this is kind of cool to think about because you got to think about chemicals that way too. Like, chemicals also get in your body like that, and they get in your bloodstream like that. So you really want to be using natural things in your body, because our skin is our largest organ and things go through it and they get inside. And you want that stuff to be natural. So expulsion of essential oils, or how they process through our body, usually takes about 3 to 6 hours in a normal, healthy body. And I like to tell people that all that really means is that I feel like our bodies were created to handle plants and to handle essential oils. Our bodies process them easily. There's not side effects. And it's just a great thing how our bodies can use them. It also is good to note that our bodies can process them like that, so that you may need to reapply every 6 hours if you're using something for a certain support. After about 3 to 6 hours, it's going to have worked its way out of your system, so you'll want to reapply. I want to share a little bit about essential oil history. So a lot of times people think of essential oils and they think they are new age, and that is so not true, because plants have been around since the beginning of creation, right? And essential oils were first mentioned by name in the biblical book of Genesis, chapter 37. When Joseph was sold to slave traders, they carried spicery, balm, and myrrh. And then Genesis ends with the burial of Joseph's father, who was anointed with myrrh. Oils or the plants are mentioned about 1,100 times, directly or indirectly in Scripture. Some of the oldest cultures on earth used essential oils. The Babylonians placed orders for cedarwood, myrrh, and cypress. The Egyptians used essential oils for beauty and embalming, and they actually have this really cool old recipe for deodorant that's all, using essential oils. Pakistan and Rome used essential oils in their communal bathhouses. We know Jesus was given frankincense and gold and myrrh, essential oils were also used by medieval Europeans, many of who brought back oils during the Crusades. And it was kind of after World War II that essential oils were kind of rediscovered, and the science on them grows every single year. These are being studied a lot, and they're finding out more and more about the really awesome things that oils can do. So oils have been around a really long time. People have used them for a really long time, and they are pretty amazing. So in the United States, there is really no rating system for essential oils. The FDA regulates essential oils and things like this minimally. So the closest that we get is that the FDA requires that in order for a bottle to be labeled pure, it needs to have at least 5% of an oil in the bottle. So that's kind of alarming to know that you can go to a health food store, or you see oils at Walmart and places like that, and it may say pure peppermint oil, but it might only have 5% of peppermint oil in there. And there are really 4 grades that essential oils fall into. Grade A is therapeutic. It's made from organically grown plants and distilled at low temperatures, so that you get all the natural God-given organic constituents in the bottle. Grade B are food grade oils, but they could contain synthetic pesticides, fertilizers, chemical extenders, or carrier oils. So these are crops that could be sprayed with chemicals and all these things, and then that ends up in the oil in the final product. Grade C are perfume oils. They often contain adulterated chemicals. They usually use solvents. A lot of times they'll use things like hexane, which is it's a solvent to gain a higher yield to spread the oil, so they have more oil to put in a bottle. Solvents can be cancerous, and they're actually in many store-bought oils. And then those grade C perfume oils can also be diluted about 80 to 95% with alcohol or other things. Grade C oils are probably the majority of the oils that you find on the shelves in health food stores and out on the market today. And then there's grade D, which is called floral water. That's really kind of the leftover water after grade A distillation. And it can be used for like skincare and different things, but it's certainly not like the essential oil. And there's actually some oil companies that take that floral water and they're putting that in a bottle, and even 5% of it, and then they're calling it essential oil. And so I always think of that like, you can't go to your fridge and grab a glass of orange juice and put this much in there and then dilute it the rest of the way with water and expect it to give you the benefit of orange juice, right? And that's kind of what a lot of oil companies are doing. And that's why you really want grade A oils. When you're making a decision to go natural with oils for your family, you want to make sure that you are getting pure, great, awesome oils with all the amazing constituents in there. And you want to check and have a company that actually grows their own plants, owns their own farms, oversees the whole process. Young Living has a process called seed to seal, which is so awesome. It means that they oversee the process from the time the seed is planted. They oversee the harvesting or the growing method. So they don't use chemicals. They don't use fertilizers. They hand weed. And only use natural, like essential oils and things to protect their crops, all natural that way. They're completely like above organic standards. They're also like their harvesting methods are awesome. And they really are this company that cares about making sure that your oils have the highest constituents in there. So they'll go out and they'll do these micro distillations. They'll go out and do these tiny little distilling, and then they'll check and they'll go run tests on it to see how many organic compounds are in there. And when it's finally at that super high level, that's when it's like all hands on deck, and they go out and harvest that and they bring it in, and that's when they distill it. So you really want a company that's really invested in giving you the best oils. They also have a super vigorous testing that they do. They have I want to say it's around 20 scientists on staff. They have chromatographers, which are chemists that can read all the information about the essential oils and knowing how the compound should be in there. They have them on staff. There's no other essential oil company that has them on staff. There's some companies that like send their oils out for testing, and they'll do one test and then they say that they test. Well, Young Living has actually a machine and chemists and scientists, and they really take this seriously. Like the owner, Gary Young, is kind of, he's a kind of nutty about essential oils. Like this is definitely his passion, and he takes it very seriously, and he wants to make sure that you guys get the best. And just one example that I always like to tell is, distilling cypress. I always use this as an example because it's one I know. If you distill cypress at the correct temperature, it has 288 naturally occurring constituents in there. That's the good stuff that does stuff in your body. If you change the degree 10 degrees higher or lower, it ends up with 11. So you want a company that knows how to distill, has studied the temperatures for each and every oil, because they're all different. They all need to be distilled at different temperatures, and do like a low process distillation. And you want to make sure that the company knows that. Well, Young Living has been in business for 25 years, and this is what they do. And so they do know all that, and they have tests, and they've got the scientists, they've got some chromatographers and chemists and all those things. So anyway, I could go on and on about that company, but you want to make sure if you're putting oils and wanting to use oils for your family that you're using ones that actually are pure and good and safe. And that is what grade A oils Young Living is. So then people ask, okay, well, why do all these other companies sell oils more cheaply? Well, it's basically to save money. I mean, if you are spraying your crops with pesticides, you're going to have a bigger crop and a bigger yield, and you can fill more oil bottles and you can make more money. If you're using a chemical solvent to extract the oil, you're going to pull more oil out of the plant. If you're doing multiple distillations where they take the same plant material and they distill it over and over and over again, you're going to end up with more bottles filled with oil to make more money. But that's like using a tea bag over and over and over again. By the time you get to fourth or fifth cup, you're going to have a glass of water that barely kind of tastes like tea and certainly doesn't have all the, the goodness of that first cup of tea. Young Living only does one distillation, the best oil, and that's what they do. So other companies are cutting corners because they want to make the most money, and that's the difference with Young Living, is that they are really set a high standard for themselves, and they're the world leader in the industry because of that. A lot of times people want to know how oils are made, and all oils are made a little differently, but it can take a lot of work to make an essential oil. So it takes 60,000 rose blossoms to provide 1 ounce of rose oil. So that is 60,000 rose blossoms. Can you imagine how many dozens of roses that is and how expensive roses are? Lavender takes about 220 pounds to provide 7 pounds of oil. So you need a lot of plant material to make the oil. Jasmine flowers actually have to be picked by hand before the sun becomes hot on the very first day that they open. So that makes jasmine oil one of the more expensive oils, and it actually takes 8 million hand-picked blossoms to produce 2.2 pounds of oil. A sandalwood tree has to be 30 years old and 30 feet high before it can be cut down for distillation. So that's a long time of waiting. And don't quote me on this, but I believe Young Living waits for deadfall trees for their sandalwood, which I think is really cool. But the cool thing is, so it takes a lot of work to get these oils and to get these little bottles filled with oil. But it's cool that a little bit of oil goes a long way. So most of the bottles are between $10 and $30. There are some, like rose oil, the one that's, takes all those rose petals, it's like $200 a bottle. So there's some that are cheaper and there's some that are super expensive, but the average is 10 to 30. And a 5 milliliter bottle, which is this size, contains about 90 drops. And then a 15 milliliter bottle, which is this size, hopefully you can see, 3 times more, contains about 250 drops. And each application is about 1 to 3 drops. So even a small bottle like this will get you 45 to 90 applications. So that's really cool to know. The bottles are kind of small, but you can get a lot of applications out of them. I'm going to talk about Thieves cleaner for a minute. When I'm talking about natural cleaner, sorry, I don't know if you guys can see that. There you go. This stuff is the bomb. This bottle is super concentrated, and you only need a capful of this to make a spray bottle. So you add a capful, add water, and then this is your all-purpose cleaner. You can use this to clean your toilets, your floors, your windows, your mirrors, anything, cabinets, counters. And it is so cool because it is all plant-based. It smells like Christmas. It's got cinnamon and clove and lemon and all these oils that are super good at cleaning. But it's got no poison control label, because even if your kids drank it, which not recommending that they do, but if they did, it wouldn't hurt them, and it's not going to hurt your pets. And so your kids can clean with you, and you don't have to feel like they have to wear a mask because you're worried about the fumes, right? So the cool part about this is you can make, I don't know exactly how many bottles, how many capfuls are in here that equal this, but it's a lot. And it averages out to be about $1.50 a spray bottle, which you can't go to the organic section of the grocery store and find a natural all-purpose cleaner that's going to work amazingly and get it for that price. It's usually like $4 to $6 if you're going organic. So I definitely recommend this cleaner. It's basically replace all your toxic chemical cleaners. You can add like baking soda if you want to make a scrub for your bathtub. It works awesome. People rave about this stuff. And if you are wanting to, you can go on YouTube and you can YouTube search like Thieves cleaner versus raw chicken. It's kind of cool to check out. But so basically just saying that oils can be cost effective, the cleaners can be cost effective because a little goes a long way. The next thing I want to talk about is, are they safe? Okay, I get this question a lot, and I get a lot of times people are like, there's these posts on Facebook about animals, and there's these posts about using oils on kids, and it's always like fear, fear, fear. And it always frustrates me because I feel like people should be more afraid about the toxic chemicals that are in their house and that have been banned in other countries that are still grandfathered in the United States than they should be about plants. But let me tell you, there are a couple safety things, and it's all kind of, most of it is common sense. But the first thing is that citrus oils are photosensitive. So oils like lemon, orange, lime, citrus. If you put them on your skin and you go out into the sun, it makes your skin more sensitive to possibly burning. So I always tell people, don't put citrus oils on your face and then go suntan. Don't put citrus oils on and go to the tanning booth, okay? But most of the time people don't do that. And then, when you're starting to use oils, you might want to dilute, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. And that would just, if you have more sensitive skin, you're going to want to start slow. You're going to want to dilute your oils. Let's see, what else? Oh, and then using oils internally. A lot of times people are like, I've heard or I've read you shouldn't use essential oils internally. Well, you know what? I would recommend not using any other essential oil company's oils internally because of what we talked about the grades of oils and about the pesticides and the chemicals and the things that could be in other oils. But Young Living actually has a specific label called the Vitality label they come in these white labels, and they've worked very hard with the FDA to let you know which oils are safe for internal use, and it's the white labeled Vitality oils. So that's super cool that you can know that. And I always tell people too, like lemon is a food I can eat. Peppermint is a food I can eat. So I would be concerned if I'm looking at a bottle of essential oil for peppermint. I know I can take that plant leaf and I can put it in my mouth and eat it. And I would be concerned if the bottle says not for ingestion, right? Which is what most of them say, and other than Young Living, because there's all kinds of other junk in there that you don't want anyway. So using essential oils safely, the Vitality line, you can totally use them internally. Some other common sense things. You don't want to put oils in your eyes or in your privates or in any area that's sensitive. You don't want to drop them in your ears. If you want to, you have some kind of ear discomfort, you can rub it around your ears. You just don't want to go dropping it in. So I feel like oils, like it's common sense safety. And I've actually looked into just to see if there's been many claims or many like poison control things. And I'm trying to remember the girl's name, and I'm having a brain fart here. But there's a girl on Facebook that's a pharmacist, has a pharmacy background, that does videos. And she did some research on this, and I loved her video because she basically said that most of the calls in that actually had to, most of them aren't to do with Young Living. And then secondly, if they are to do with Young Living, it's people using them in really weird ways, like, giving their newborn, internally 3 bottles of oil, which I don't know who would do that. It's common sense stuff that it's like, I don't know. That's not how we use oils. So if you're using them in a normal way, they are super safe and awesome. And you should not be fearful of them. And just to say on the pets issue, I have 2 dogs and 2 cats. And I've been using these oils for 3 years all the time, and I haven't had any issues. And I have a team of like almost 200 people, and I've never heard any issues. And I actually messaged my upline because I keep seeing these pet posts, and I'm like, what is up with these pet posts? And so I asked my upline, who has like 10,000 members, and I'm like, have you ever had anyone like, our cat die because of these oils? And she's like, no, I don't know where these things are coming from. So I know there are oils that maybe you want to avoid with pets, and you can look into that. I have not had that. Like, my experience has not been that, and my pets are happy and well. So that's what I'm going to say about that. Really quick talk about carrier oil. A carrier oil is a fatty oil, like olive oil, coconut oil, grapeseed oil, jojoba oil. Essential oils, a lot of times people are worried that they are going to end up feeling all greasy or look all greasy, and they're like, I don't want to use essential oils because I'm going to be greasy. Well, essential oils have super duper tiny molecules. And so a good pure essential oil, when you put it on your skin, it's going to get absorbed into your skin and into your bloodstream really quickly, and you're not going to be greasy at all. It's carrier oils that have the bigger molecules. And so when you go slather in coconut oil on your arm, you will feel a little slick, a little greasy. But carrier oil is awesome for covering a really large area. So if you want to, get your whole lower back with oils, then you only need 1 to 2 drops of Panaway in a teaspoon of carrier oil, and you can cover that whole area. If you tried to do that with just Panaway, you'd waste a lot of your oil trying to cover that area when you don't need that many drops of the essential oil. Carrier oil and diluting is really great for kids. Their skin is more permeable, and so we always recommend diluting for kids. And you can put a couple drops in oil and dilute that way. It also will cool an oil. So certain oils are considered hot oils. And all that means is that they're actually like vasodilators. So they bring the blood flow to your skin. And so oils like peppermint, wintergreen, those actually have like an icy hot kind of cooling effect, which can feel amazing on tension. Oils like cinnamon, oregano, clove, those have like a warming effect, which can also be really nice. But sometimes people, it's too intense for them and they don't like that feeling. So you can use a carrier oil to slow that process down. And what we see is that it feels like it cools the area. Your skin, even if you feel that hotness, like even if you put oregano on and your skin gets red and you feel that hotness, you put carrier oil, it cools it down. You don't have to worry that it's actually burning your skin or anything like that. It's not. It's just creating a warming sensation, and you can use the carrier oil to cool it down. So that's what carrier oils are all about. They're really handy to have around. You can make like roller bottles and fill them with carrier oil, and then put 5 to 10 drops of your essential oil in there. And then you have a ready to go version of your essential oil that's already diluted. That's a nice way for kids to use them. And then, so always, when people are talking about safety with oils, and they're getting concerned or worked up, or they saw one of those fearful posts, I'm always like, let's look at the flip side. Or right now in our kitchens, in our bathrooms, we have products that we probably put on our skin every day. Think about your deodorant. Think about your toothpaste. Think about the cleaners that you have that actually have so many damaging toxic chemicals in them. They say the average woman applies over 200 chemicals to her body a day, between her soaps and her makeups and her shampoos and her hair care. And you know what? All those chemicals are like disturbing our endocrine systems and our hormonal systems. And there is actually a thing called toxic burden overload. And it's when we're using these chemicals over and over daily, a lot of times we get a lot of symptoms, like maybe we're feeling run down and tired. Maybe we've got respiratory symptoms coming up. Maybe we've got skin issues coming up. And a lot of times people are not thinking about the chemicals that they're applying every day. And I really think we need to shift and start to think about that. And, you think about your kids being around this stuff, and we can't control the stuff outside of our home. We can't control the fact that we're going to breathe in pollution, and that our kids go to school and maybe there's going to be a chemical hand sanitizer there. Like, we can't control that stuff, but we can control what's going on in our homes, and we can slowly move to have them be more chemical free or toxin free. So that we are giving our bodies the best chance to be as healthy as possible. And I always think, I always tell people it's kind of a slow process. And you do it slowly. You don't just go home and chuck everything, because it's going to cost you $1 million to, get everything natural all at once. But it's a nice thing to start to look seriously at what's in your cabinets and what you're applying to your body every day and to your kids' bodies, and start to switch out for more natural alternatives. And essential oils and Young Living products are the perfect thing for that, because they are amazing, plant-based, and they work really, really good. So I'm always telling people, be more afraid of the toxic chemicals than you are of plants and plant medicine. So it can be a bit overwhelming when you're first getting started with oils. And so I'm going to go over 11 oils with you tonight. These are the oils that Young Living has put together in what they have, the premium starter kit. It's 11 oils and a diffuser and a few other things, and it's a really great bang for your buck. So I'm going to just go over each oil. I wish you were here to smell them, because, man, they are amazing. And I feel like once you smell these oils and you experience them, they are life-changing. So frankincense is the first one. Frankincense is one of the top skin oils. Sorry, I don't mean to be shaking you guys. It is really great for all things skin. It's great for wrinkles and anything skin related. So skin irritations or first aid skin things. It's also great for bringing oxygen to your body and your brain, really. So a lot of people diffuse this during schoolwork. They diffuse it during prayer time. It can be great for respiratory support too, which I was not really familiar with. And a few of my friends have been telling me they have used it when they needed respiratory support, or their kids needed respiratory support, and that it was really handy. So it's a great oil. I'm just telling you a few things about each oil. They are all so versatile. So I encourage you to, you can Google each oil, or you can get yourself an awesome reference guide, and that'll tell you there are so many uses. And that's part of what I love about oils too, is that they are so versatile. So one oil does a lot of things and covers a lot of different areas. The next oil is lavender. Lavender is an oil of relaxation. I wish you could smell Young Living's lavender, because a lot of times people think they know what lavender smells like, but what they've really smelled is synthetic perfume lavender, which is in a lot of soaps and body lotions and Bath and Body Works stuff, but that's not real lavender. And Young Living's lavender is so amazing. So you can diffuse this for a calming, soothing aroma, perfect to put in some Epsom salts and in your kid's bath or in a diffuser in their room to help them wind down for sleep time. It's one of the top oils to support healthy skin. It's very calming and soothing to skin. Lavender is called the Swiss Army knife of oils. I always say, when in doubt, try lavender. And it's also one that's really safe, so it's great for babies and things like that. Peppermint is next. Peppermint is so fresh, refreshing, energizing, alerting. It really wakes you up and it really opens you up. So it's very great for sinus support, respiratory support. It's also great taken internally for digestive support. Helps with any gas bubbles or things like that. It helps your digestive tract, and it's also really cooling and great for tension or muscle, minor muscle aches after exercising and things like that, putting it on your calves after running. And it's also very cooling to the body naturally. So anytime you're feeling over hot or, during the summer, you're outside on a hot day, you can put a drop on your neck and it really will help cool you down, which is so awesome. Citrus Fresh is a new addition to the kit. Citrus Fresh, let me tell you what it is. It's a blend, and it has orange, tangerine, grapefruit, lemon, mandarin, and spearmint. Very great as a flavor enhancer in your water. It's very uplifting, and it's an odor neutralizer. So you can put it in your diffuser, and if you've got stinky pets, or if you just made fish or bacon, something that makes your house smell really intense, then you can add it to your diffuser, and it's really going to help make your air smell great. Thieves is next. Thieves is one of Young Living's most famous oils. You've probably heard of Thieves if you've heard of Young Living. It is a blend of lemon, cinnamon, clove, rosemary, and eucalyptus radiata. Excuse me. Thieves is an oil blend that is great for supporting overall health and your immune system. So a lot of times people will diffuse this one a lot during the winter months. It's great to put on the bottom of your feet to just give your immune system a little boost. A lot of times people will put a drop of this and a drop of lemon vitality in a tea in hot water and drink it as a tea to help support their immune system. Thieves also has, because of the clove, it's great for numbing your gums or teeth if you're having any teeth issues, and they use it in the cleaners, and they also use it in the dental stuff that they make. So they make toothpaste and mouthwash and dental floss and all this stuff. And there's some dentists that use the Thieves line because cinnamon and clove and all those things are so healthy and so good for our teeth and gums and things like that. And dentists have been using cloves for a long time for numbing and helping keep the mouth clean. So Thieves is a great blend to have on hand. Every house should have Thieves. Stress Away is next. Stress Away is a blend of copaiba, lime, cedarwood, vanilla, octane, lavender. I always joke that this was my gateway oil. This was the oil I tried with Peace and Calming that really just made me understand that Young Living oils are so different and so amazing. And this one is Stress Away, kind of says it all. It's great for emotional support. It's great for calming. It's great to diffuse on a rough day. Keep in your car with you if you struggle with how other people drive, or you go to work and you can't, people you work with are stressful. Take this oil with you. It's awesome. All right. Next is lemon. Lemon is a great oil to put in your water. It's very detoxifying and it's awesome for flavoring things. So you can use a drop of lemon oil instead of a teaspoon of lemon juice in a recipe. So that's super awesome and handy to have on hand for cooking and flavoring things. It's also got a high amount of D-limonene in it, which is believed to support the immune system. So like I said, people will add a drop of this and a drop of Thieves to hot water and have a tea and just support their immune system too. It's also very fresh and uplifting, works great for cleaning. It takes, like sticky stuff off of, I always say like, when you buy a frame and they put the sticker on the glass of the frame, I don't know why they do that. And then you're trying to get it off. Lemon oil will take off like sticky residue and things like that, which is handy to have around instead of having to have like that Gooby Gone, which I'm sure has tons of chemicals in it. Okay, Panaway. Panaway is another blend. It's peppermint, wintergreen, clove, and helichrysum. This is great to apply to soothe your muscles, for neck and head tension. It's very stimulating aroma. It's kind of like your natural icy hot, natural Bengay. Those things, the people kind of isolate the constituents of, what are these constituents? I can't think right now. The ones that are in wintergreen and peppermint, eucanol, I can't think of what it is right now. But when they make things like Bengay and stuff, they kind of isolate those and put them in there. Well, it's naturally occurring, God-given in here, and this is an awesome thing to have on hand. Really great for joint support as well. Copaiba is the next one. This is a single, so this is just Copaiba is from, I believe, a tree of some kind. This promotes overall wellness. It's great to put a drop in tea or juice and take it daily. It's extremely soothing to the body. It's also soothing to skin, and it supports nearly every single body system. So this oil is great to layer with other oils, like peppermint or Panaway if you're putting it on your joints or on tension. And like I said, it's really great to take in a tea or in water or something like that every day. And then Digize. So Digize is a blend of tarragon, juniper, anise, ginger, fennel, patchouli, peppermint, and lemongrass. This is the top oil for supporting your digestive system. Not the most pleasant smelling oil, but you do not want to be without this oil. A little rub on your tummy with this oil when it is not feeling well, and you will be so glad you have it. Also wonderful for kiddos, diluted, rubbed on the tummy when things are not going well. And it actually brings balance. So it's really great. No matter what your stomach issue is, you can use it, and it's going to bring balance and help and support to your digestive system. And then Raven, that is another new addition to the Young Living Starter Kit. Raven has Ravensara, peppermint, eucalyptus radiata, lemon, and wintergreen. Awesome blend for respiratory support. You can make your own natural Vicks using this and some coconut oil and rubbing it on the chest, in the diffuser when you need respiratory support or breathe in deeply. This is an amazing oil, and I wish you could smell it because it smells so fresh and so good. So that is what comes in the kit, those 11 oils. So you can see as I was talking about them that really covers a lot of body systems. And really, it's like every system that you could possibly use. And that's why Young Living put this together as a starter kit. A lot of times people ask me why oils, like why start with oils? And I just feel like they're kind of like a natural bridge to wellness and natural wellness. Like a lot of times people think, okay, I don't want to stress out making tinctures or doing all these natural things, but using a drop of oil, with a little carrier oil, that's pretty easy. Putting a drop of oil in the diffuser, I can handle that. And so they start using oils, and it kind of helps them take that shift and move towards natural health and wellness and towards their best health. And it helps them to get something in their house that is effective and works, that then they can take the chemicals, the toxic chemicals, and get them out. So I feel like it's just a great transition, and it's a great like kind of fork in the road to get focused and moving in the right direction for the health and wellness of your family. So I always recommend people start with the starter kit. I'm going to share how you can do that in case somebody wants to. The starter kit comes with a cool mist diffuser. This is the Desert Mist one, which is now available. It's so amazingly beautiful. You add some water, and then you add a couple drops of oil, turn it on. The natural way to enjoy the oils. Not only that, but you can get rid of air fresheners, plug-ins, wax pods, and all kinds of stuff that have harmful chemicals in them. And you can have your house smelling amazingly fresh using a diffuser. If you've never seen one of these or been around it, they are so cool. You get the 11 oils that I went over. You get 2 packs of Ninja Red, which is this amazing super antioxidant drink that helps your body in so many ways. It's full of minerals and antioxidants, which help fight free radicals, which is something that our bodies need. And then you also get a sample packet around the size of the Thieves cleaner in the kit now, which is so cool. They just started doing that, and that's enough for you to make a couple spray bottles, which is so cool. You can get rid of those toxic chemicals in your home. And you get a little roller top fitment, which you can put on top of any bottle that you have, and then you can just roller it on. A lot of people choose Pan Away. I chose Stress Away because I needed all the stress help I could get. And you also get some little sample bottles, so you can take the oils with you, or you can share them with your friends, because trust me, I don't know how many of you are sitting here as I'm talking about this going, ooh, my friend so-and-so could use that. Ooh, my friend so-and-so should check that oil out. So you can actually share with your friends. That whole kit is $160. It is actually 50% off of retail price. So it's an amazing deal. And what it also gets you is a wholesale membership. And I love that about Young Living. So you buy a kit and you get a wholesale membership, and that means you save 24% off retail price. And so a lot of times people order their kit and then they're so excited because if they choose to order again, they're getting that discount. You also get access to our Facebook group, which we have an amazing group of people. I'm so excited about my team and just how we're helping support others and helping everyone move towards health and wellness. And we help each other by sharing recipes, and you can ask questions, and it's so much fun. So you have access to our group, and trying to think of anything else. So a lot of times people are like, okay, this kit, what do I have to sell? How much do I have to order? And that's the cool thing about Young Living is their kit is a no strings attached wholesale membership. If you want to order again, you can, and it's 24% off retail, but you don't have to. And if you want to sell or become a distributor and make awesome commissions and have the coolest job in the world, you can, but you don't have to. And so there's no further obligations. If you want to buy a kit and you want to use it and have the personal benefit for your family, then you can. And I love that about Young Living. And then, there are added bonuses. If you want to sell, you can. If you want to buy again, you get wholesale discount. So how cool is that? They do have this really super cool program called Essential Rewards, which is completely optional. And that is a monthly auto ship program. And this is, I tell people who are serious and they're like, I really do want to get chemicals out of my home and I want to start feeling good and I want to have my family using natural products and I want to really move towards this natural wellness. There is a program that they have that's a monthly auto ship. We call it a monthly wellness box. And you can pick out the oils and the products you want each and every month. and you earn back between 10 and 25% in points. I currently earn 25% back, and I always tell people Target doesn't do that. Target gives you 5% back. Young Living is so generous. If you shop with them, they give you up to 25% back in free products. So a lot of times people are, worried about how they can fit this into a budget and how they can do it. And I can tell you, you can make it cost effective, and you can earn points back and get lots and lots of free products. So it's very doable. My free gifts tonight, for those of you who make it to the end of this class, I know it's long. I can't believe I tried to keep it. I thought maybe I could do it in a half hour, but wow, it's almost an hour. So I was talking really fast too, you guys. I am going to give a chemical-free home book to anybody who orders a kit. This book is chocked full of recipes using your kit oils for things that you would use around your house. Eye makeup remover, baby bum soak for sore bums, vaporizing chest rub, head lice prevention spray, homemade baby wipes. There are some cleaning recipes in here, all kinds of recipes. Then, pair of dryer balls. These are wool dryer balls. It's kind of hard to see in the light, but you can put some oils on these, pop them in your dryer, and get rid of dryer sheets, because dryer sheets and fabric softeners are full of yucky chemicals that you don't want in your house. So I will give anyone who wants to buy a starter kit tonight this chemical-free home book and the dryer balls. And I also have a couple extra little books, Fearless with Essential Oils in 2 hours. This book, you read it, and it's going to make you feel empowered to be using those oils in your kit. Because I know a lot of times you get these oils and you're like, oh boy, what did I get myself into? How do I use them? This book is going to help you with that. And of course, you have my support and the group support. And then the little game plan book, which is a great book for those of you who may be interested in the business side of Young Living. This little handy book tells a lot about that. So those are all my gifts. I am going to make sure that you feel like you got everything you need to get started with oils. So anyone who wants to buy a kit tonight, I put the link in the description. Feel free to ask me lots of questions and I will help you. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this class. And like I said, if you have questions, I'm here to help. I've been using these oils for quite a while, and I love helping people transition into this natural health and wellness. So hope you guys enjoyed this class, and I hope you have a great night. Bye.